Hello and welcome to a new section in the channel which I'm going to call Zwift Myths, where we try and bust as many myths on Zwift as possible. We're going to compare as many bikes as we can, helmets, wheels, gloves, glasses. We're going to challenge it all. We're going to find out what is the best bike, what is the best pair of wheels, what's the best pair of wheels and bike combination, what is the fastest bike on the flat, on the hills, on the descents. Does it matter if you've got a beard? Does it matter if you wear an aero helmet? Does it matter if you wear a pair of gloves? And ultimately we can bust any myth we want on Zwift thanks to a handy little piece of software that we've got. The first myth I want to try and bust is whether Cameron Jeffers would have beat the Vegan Cyclist had he been on a Tron bike. Now, it's quite well documented that the Vegan Cyclist only beat Cameron Jeffers because he was on a Tron bike. But is that the case? Let's head over now to Dr. Chris Pritchard as he takes us through the challenge and finds out whether Cameron Jeffers would have beaten the Vegan Cyclist had he been on a Tron bike. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this scientific experiment where we'll be pitching Cameron Jeffers against the Vegan Cyclist again. Let's run through a few of their stats first. Cameron Jeffers, a height of 188 centimetres, a weight of 73 kilos at the time. The bike he used was a tarmac and the wheels he used were the Zip 202s. He averaged a power output of 357 watts up the Alpe de Zwift, and his race time up the Alpe with draft was 40 minutes and 49 seconds. And on the right we have the Vegan Cyclist. Height exactly the same, 188 centimetres. Weight 3 kilos lighter at 70 kilos, and he used a Tron bike with obviously the Tron wheels. Average power of 347 watts and a race time with draft of 40 minutes and 36 seconds. So the Vegan Cyclist won on the day. He was clearly the better cyclist. There's no denying that. But had Cam had the Tron bike, would it have been a different story? Well, thanks to a little bit of software that we have, we can actually try that out right now. So on screen here we can see the Vegan Cyclist averaging 347 watts at 100 RPM with 400 meters to go up the climb. There's zero draft here, so what we're using this for is to see exactly how much time was saved in the draft from the Vegan Cyclist, if any at all. It'll be interesting to see exactly how much time he spent in the draft and how much energy he saved and how much of a tow he actually got up the climb. Did he save any time at all? Or is the draft on an incline pretty much pointless? I've covered up the estimated time of arrival as well, just to, you know, create a little bit of tension, a little bit of the unknown. But as you can see, we're at 39. We're now at 40 minutes for the climb itself. Just over this crest, you're going to see the finish. If you've never done this climb, don't ever do it. It's horrendous. It's good fun after the fact, but during it, it's pretty horrendous. There you can see the finish line there. So he's going to finish, what, in around 40 minutes and 40 seconds, something like that, I guess. Over the line, that constant power stays at 347, average power all the way up. 40 minutes and 39 seconds. His race effort was 40 minutes and 36 seconds, so the time saved via the draft was only 3 seconds. So there is a draft advantage to be had up the climb, but it's not really that great. So here now we cut to the bottom of the climb, and on the left hand side we have Cameron on the Tron bike, the fictional Cameron on the Tron bike. On the right hand side is Cameron's actual bike that he used to climb. The height exactly the same, 188, weight 73 kilos for both riders. The average power all the way up is going to be 357 watts, and there is zero draft, no on to draft. So let's see if that Tron bike would have given him an advantage. Would it have been enough to win the race? Or is the whole thing about this Tron bike just a myth? Now I've sped up this whole piece because nobody wants to spend 40 minutes watching two random avatars aimlessly climbing up this Alpe de Zwift. I mean, it is picturesque, it is beautiful, but not that interesting to watch for the 40 minutes. So half an hour into the climb and they're still going strong, maintaining that 357 watts. And we're getting nearer the top now. You're going to go around this last right-hander, I think, just there. And then this is going to be the climb to the top. So back to real-time speed now. So yeah, with 400 meters to go, there's not a great deal of difference in time, in distance. Is this Tron bike a myth? Now before we find that out, we want to try another experiment. What would happen if you got to the top of the Alpe, set your power to 2000 watts, 100 RPM, and smashed it all the way back down with the fattest rider you can make? Well, that's exactly what we're going to find out now. Look at the size of him. He's a man mountain. 2000 watts out the saddle. Now, does being out the saddle decrease that aero efficiency? Or is it outweighed by the sheer power that is pushing? Or is he going to crash at this first turn? Who knows? Let's find out. Into this left-hander, doesn't even flinch. Look at that, unbelievable. Leave your comments below. What do you think is going to be the fastest speed all the way down this hill? I mean, by the time you get, oh, look at him go around that. By the time we get to the bottom of this hill, you'll have found that out. But just out of interest, what do you think? How fast do you think you can go? 103 now is the fastest speed he's been. And he's taking these corners like it's, oh, like he's on rails. Oh, God, scary. Still maintaining over 100 kilometers an hour. Now, if he got into an aero tuck here, would he have more of an advantage? Would he be going faster? 103, oh, it'll be interesting round here. Look at that. He does not mess about. I think that's it. I think we might have reached terminal velocity of 103 kilometers. Oh God, go on, lad. Whew. I mean, this is one way to level up on Zwift. Back down to under 100 kilometers now. Into a right-hander here. Head down, yeah. Why not, mate? Who needs to see where you're going? Speed's decreased quite a bit now around there. Still at a minus negative 10%. Let's speed up, because I don't think he's going to go any faster than 103, 104 kilometers. 103 there again. 104. Can he get to 105? Come on. Yes, 105. If you said 105, you might be the winner, because I can't see him going any faster than that. The Alpe's nearly done now. No, 103, 102, 95, 104, 105, 106, 106. Go on. Under the tunnel. He's almost at the bottom now anyway. I think he's got one more hairpin to go. 105, 106 is going to be a lot, I think. And if you hit an aero now, would you go even faster? 107! Oh, I don't know what's happening there. Oof. 107 kilometers an hour. Can he break 107? He's almost at the bottom. Come on, lad. Come on. 107. Nah, no way. Oh, 108! He's done it! 108! He's got it. Right at the death. 108 kilometers is a fast... What were we doing before that? Oh, Cameron Jeffers. So 108 kilometers, fastest down here. But what's Cameron Jeffers' fastest time going to be up here? Is he going to have gone any faster than his original race time? How much time would he have saved in the draft? Who knows? But one thing is clear. This Tron bike is not as good as everyone makes it out to be. So there we go. You would have saved half a second on that climb had you been on the Tron bike, Cameron Jeffers. Ultimately, what we're saying is Cam lost it fair and square. Makes no difference whatsoever what he was on. It could have been on a unicycle and still lost. It could have been on an electric bike and probably still lost. So there you have it. It's pretty damning evidence against Cameron Jeffers. The conclusion is he is useless on a bike, regardless of whether he's on a concept bike or he's just on a random specialised tarmac. But it is quite interesting to see that that Tron bike doesn't have the advantage that everybody thinks it does. It ain't that much better than anything else. So that means that I and you have to stop using the excuse of losing a Zwift race on the fact that everybody else is on Tron bikes and you're not. Stay tuned, subscribe, notify, and let me know in the comments below exactly what type of myth you'd like us to bust next time on Zwift Myths. Zwift Myths.